Hello everybody and welcome to my vlog of Polarthon 2021. So Polarthon is a polar fantasy themed readathon hosted by Jay over at Jadeyraereads. I will leave a link to her announcement down below. This week from February 1st to February 7th is a readathon dedicated to all things polar fantasy, and it has been separated into teams this year, which is exciting. My team is Team Penguin because I had to. Penguins are my favorite animal. I have 5 prompts to complete to finish off this week of polar fantasy. It's actually Wednesday when I'm filming this, which is kind of sad, but the last 2 days I got a couple clips of like when I started and finished books, but I haven't really talked about them yet. I haven't really sat down and done a real vlog yet, just because I've been feeling really gross the last 2 days, but I have read 2 books already, which is very exciting. So my TBR for this week is 5 books long. I showed a bit of it in my February plan with me, but I actually didn't include one prompt. I tried to double up 2 and I decided instead to read all 5, so that's exciting. One of the clips that I did take earlier this week was to show off my TBR, and it is including 1 by 1 by Ruth Ware, which is a book fulfilling the Arctic Challenge prompt. I'm planning on finishing off the 3 Dark Crowns series with 5 Dark Fates by Kendar Blake as my animal friend prompt, because one of the characters is familiar. Next up, the prompt for a foiled cover, I'm going to be reading A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. For the folklore prompt, I decided to read Angela Carter's The Bloody Chamber and Other Stories, a short story collection that I've always been wanting to read. I've read a few of her short stories before. I really enjoyed her writing, so I enjoyed reading that. And then the final prompt for polar fantasy, I am reading Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, which has been on my list for a very long time. But anyway, like I said, I finished 2 books. So on Monday, I read 1 by 1 by Ruth Ware. I loved this so much. This is her most recent release, and it is set at like the French Alps at a ski chalet where this huge startup tech company is hosting a retreat. And during the retreat, there's an avalanche, and one of the members doesn't come back to the chalet. And then antics ensue. It's another like cozy mystery, murder mystery, very akin to Agatha Christie, and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of like, I understood what was going to happen. I guessed the ending, but I still enjoyed it a lot. It was a really fun read. It was a really entertaining read, and I highly recommend it if you like murder mysteries. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And then last night, I read The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter and Other Stories. So this includes, I think it's like, how many stories are there? There are 10 short stories in here, including The Bloody Chamber, as per the title, which is her retelling of Bluebeard. All of these are retellings of folklore and or fairy tales, and I love them. They're very like early feminist retellings because it was written back in the 70s. The first Angela Carter story I ever encountered was during my undergrad, and it was The Company of Wolves, which is included in here, which is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and it's one of my favorite retellings of all time. I highly enjoyed this. There were a few stories that I wasn't as big of a fan of, but majority I really enjoyed, so I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars as well. Many favorites. Company of Wolves will always be on my favorite list, but The Bloody Chamber was fantastic. I love Bluebeard as a fairy tale, so I think this retelling was really interesting. And then I also love the Lady of the House of Love, which is like a vampire story, which was really fun. But yeah, anyway, today I am going to be picking up from my little TBR stack A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. Jeez. This I haven't had on my list for a long time. It's a relatively new purchase for me, but I'm very excited to read it. It's only over 300 pages, or just over 300 pages, so I should be able to finish it tonight. And then I only have 2 more books left, which is very exciting. Anyway, I'm going to go and film my January wrap-up right now, which should be up on Friday. I will leave a link to it in the card up here. But yeah, wish me luck. I will talk to you later. Hello everybody. Today is Thursday, February 4th, Yes, 4th. I'm having a pretty slow morning. I just finished editing my January wrap-up, which is going up on Friday, tomorrow. My tomorrow, not your tomorrow. I'll leave it in a card up here. It's really exciting to be able to have done a wrap-up, having read at least a little bit in the month of February already, which is exciting for me, considering I've been in like a year-long reading slump. Sorry, just finishing up getting this already. Yeah, I didn't really do any reading yesterday. I didn't end up doing anything. I made a TikTok. I watched Criminal Minds a lot with Tyler. We finished off season 3, which is exciting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I discovered a fellow booktuber over on TikTok, Magical Molly. I'll leave her channel down below because it's really great, and I got caught up watching her documentary on Lydia Deetz from Beetlejuice, and it reminded me to put up my Beetlejuice poster because I really, like, it's not a poster, it's like a wooden frame kind of thing, and I love it, and I got it at Halloween this year. And it just made me so nostalgic. It made me want to watch Beetlejuice, so I did. I watched it last night. Stayed up till like 4. Yeah, 4. It's a problem. But I'm actually changing up what book I'm planning on reading for the foiled cover prompt for Polarthon. Instead of reading A Deadly Education, because like I started it and I just couldn't really get into it, I wasn't vibing, I decided to pick up Finale by Stephanie Garber. This is the last book in the Caraval trilogy. I haven't read the first 2 in a long time, so I also read the summaries of the first 2 last night because I don't have time to reread them, but I want to finish off the series. My one friend Vic from work is going to be very excited that I'm finishing it off because it's like her favorite series ever. But yeah, I know I flew through these, so they should be a quick read. And then I can move on to the last 2 books for Polarthon, Spinning Silver and 5 Dark Fates. But anyway, right now I'm just going to finish editing, get it all scheduled for tomorrow, and then I'll sit down and do some reading. Hello all. So I've just been on Tammy and Kay's reading sprints, and I got about 50 pages into Finale. I'm so happy I read a summary, else I'd be so lost. Like, I have no idea what's happening. It's okay so far. It's super fast-paced, which is something I totally forgot about this series. Like, this series is really, really fast to read. But, like, I don't like Tella or Scarlet as much as I thought I did. Or at least as much as I did when I was, like, first reading this series. So this is gonna be a trip. Hello, everybody. I swear I have moved from this spot today. It doesn't look like it, but I have. So earlier tonight I was watching Kay and Tammy's live stream of reading sprints, and that really helped me get started on Finale, the book that I'm using for my foiled cover prompt for Polarthon. So the reading sprints were really helpful for me. I actually read 150 pages and I didn't even finish the live. I had to leave to go eat dinner. But I really, really appreciated them, and I think I'm gonna have to start following more reading sprints. I know that Ray has been doing a bunch of them for Polarthon, so I'll have to try and catch a couple of those before the week is out because that was super helpful. Anyway, it's like 12:30 at night, so I mean, it's still early for me. But I finished Finale. I ended up giving this book 3 out of 5 stars. I haven't given a book this low rating in a while. I didn't like the ending. I don't even know. The beginning, I don't know if it's been a while since I read Caraval and my tastes have changed, but I don't know. I didn't vibe with the writing this time. I thought it was kind of forced. I thought that some of the things, like, I felt like it explained way too much in dialogue, like it didn't need to say. Like, there were moments where it's like they were outright saying the things that, like, should have been implicitly implied. And it took me out of it a little bit. It felt much more like info dumpy all throughout it, though. Like, nobody had any inner thoughts. Nobody was just thinking. Everybody said everything that they were thinking, and it just kind of took away some of the mystery and the magic. It still was really cool, some of the thoughts and the ideas. Like, the ideas of, like, an almost tarot card deck coming to life was really interesting. But I don't know, my favorite character was Jax. and I think he'll be my favorite character overall. I didn't really prefer either of the sisters. Tello I preferred over Scarlet. I didn't realize how much Scarlet drove me crazy. And I don't even know, it was different. And like, the love triangle didn't go the way I wanted it to, so maybe I'm bitter. But it just didn't blow me away, unfortunately. I still enjoyed it. Like, I read it really fast. It's super fast paced. So I mean, if you want a trilogy that's super whimsical, I'd go for it. But I still think it was for me. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest. Legendary is definitely my favorite out of the three, and yeah, that's one series done out of this year that I've been trying to finish. I've had this book since it came out. I pre-ordered it. My friend Vic's gonna be very happy that I finally read it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Finale. I have 2 more books left for this readathon. Five Dark Fates and Spinning Silver. I think I'm going to start with this one next because I know that they are super fast paced as well, and hopefully finish it tomorrow, and that would mean that I'd have the whole weekend to read Spinning Silver, which I think I might need because it is an adult fantasy and I don't know how fast paced it's going to be, so I'm saving it for last. And then this would be another series finished in 2021 that I've had on my shelves for much too long. We're making progress. This is growth here. I'm finishing series. People should be proud of me. Anyway, I'm just gonna watch some YouTube and chill out for the rest of the evening. And yeah, that is my update. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello everybody, today is Saturday, February 6th, and I wanted to give you guys an update. Again, I swear I've left this spot, I promise. Anyway, today is Saturday. Yesterday I didn't vlog a ton, but yesterday I did finish another book. Yesterday I started and finished 5 Dark Fates by Kendar Blake, the final book in the 3 Dark Crowns series, and I loved it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought the characters had really great endings and really great arcs. I really enjoyed the magic system and how it kind of like, how it worked to finish the end of the story. This series is 4 books long, and there's also a set of 2 novellas that are really important to the story. And I think they were all incorporated really well. I think the characters, like, their endings fit their characterization throughout the series, which makes me really happy because Finale, I didn't think it did happen, so I was quite impressed with that. I think this series is great for anybody who wants to start a new high fantasy series. It's really great. I really enjoyed it. The only downside is it's got deckled edges, which I hate, but whatever. I actually wish it would have been a bit longer, so that's why I ended up rating it 4 stars instead of 5. But I just really like long books, so that's just me. Yeah, I finished this and I loved it. So that is the prompt for the book with an animal friend, because one of the characters is a naturalist and has a familiar. So actually more than one have familiars, but this one's great. I loved it too because one of the familiars is a little hummingbird named Pepper and she's adorable. Anyway. And then last night I started the book that counts for polar fantasy, Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I'm about 70 pages into this, and I'm planning on spending the rest of the evening reading it, and then hopefully finishing it up sometime tomorrow, if not tonight. I'm really excited. It's about the same length as Five Dark Fates, but this one's adult instead of YA, so it's a bit denser in the narrative, so it might take me a little bit longer to read. But so far I'm enjoying it. The introduction to the characters is really interesting. Hilariously, one of the characters' names is Wanda, and so like every time I'm reading her name, it just makes me think of WandaVision and I get distracted, so I need to like get over that. But this is what I'm planning on doing. In other news, my parents came and dropped off these two chairs, which you would have seen in my summer vlogs. This one's here, but the other one's in the bedroom. But I got a new reading chair, how exciting! There it is, it's beautiful. I can put my tea right next to it, as you can see. And I've got a pretty lamp behind it. I'm excited. I'm gonna snuggle up there and read for the rest of the evening. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hello again, everybody. It's like 2:30 in the morning on Monday, but I'm just filming this now because I just got out of the bath / shower. I want to do it before I go to bed so I can just edit this video tomorrow. So I'm going to. I finished Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik and I loved this book. This book was great. It took me a little while to get into it just because it is an adult fantasy and I've been reading a lot of YA lately, so the difference kind of wasn't jarring, but like it took me a minute to get into it a little bit. But I adored this. So this book followed a whole different cast of characters, actually. It followed a lot of different characters. It was really good. It was a loose retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, and it was interwoven with a bunch of Polish folklore because Naomi Novik is Polish herself, and these are the stories she grew up on. The mixture was really refreshing. I read it once before with Uprooted, which was like a loose Beauty and the Beast retelling. This one was Rumpelstiltskin, and I adored it. Rumpelstiltskin and Beauty and the Beast are two of my top like 5 favorite fairy tales of all time. And I adored this version of the story. It was really good. The magic system was super interesting. And like the whole fairy steric world was just incredible. I absolutely loved it. I think the villains were interesting. I think the characters themselves were flawed and gritty and raw and like just super interesting. They were really real characters and I really enjoyed reading from their perspective. But yeah, this I read for the final prompt for Polarthon, which was Polar Fantasy, which was a prompt that everybody had to read no matter your team. And I'm happy to say that I completed all 5 prompts for the Team Penguin section of Polarthon, and I'm super proud of myself. I'm like notorious for starting readathons and never finishing them, or even dedicating myself to a readathon ever. So I'm super proud that I actually finished this one. This makes my 10th book of the year, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this weekly reading vlog. If you want more, let me know. If you've read any of the books that I read this week, please let me know down in the comments below. So yeah, if you've read One by One by Ruth Ware, Finale by Stephanie Garber, Five Dark Fates by Kendar Blake, The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter, or Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, let me know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps support my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I put out new bookish videos every week, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye-bye.